once again. This time around we will be drawing fishtail braids. So this is for those of you with longer hair. Start out with hatching lines, so just straight lines, and then you're going to go in the opposite direction. You're at about a 45-degree angle, and you want them spaced relatively evenly apart. Doesn't have to be perfect. After that, you're going in and you're following your zigzag marks that you already created. You have to pick one of the ones in the middle, and you're really defining that line, making it very, very dark. You have to go all the way down. I would recommend not going to one edge or another. You want to try to end in the middle if you can, and curve your lines along the side, just like this. Once you're at this point, you're going to erase your extra hatching lines that you don't need, so the ones that are going in the opposite direction from what the braid will be going. So your fishtail braid. At this point, you need to curve your edges. So we got to give our braid some shape. And at the very, very bottom, once you get there, you will want to taper it off a little bit and add in just a smidge more of a line. Once you're here, you can always add in your little tail, because it is a fishtail braid. And let's erase some of the lines we're not going to need. We have a really good form now, a good base drawing, and at this point all it is creating values. Your darkest areas are going to be where your hair twists around each other, so in the interior of the braid and along each edge. You want your hair and your lines for your hair to follow the direction it would originally twist, so make sure your lines are relatively straight. Maybe they curve around this edge, but for the most part they're all going to be going in the same direction depending on which side they're on. Darkest areas are going to be right in the center where your zigzag was and along the edge. It's also very likely that there's going to be a highlight down the middle on each side of your braid, so make sure you're paying attention to that. And just like on any other drawing, as you work, darkest areas I'm pressing very, very hard in, and my lighter spots I'm barely using any pressure at all, or just using the actual paper for my lightest highlight. Once I'm at the top, I am going to create a little bit of my head, or this individual's head, and where their hair would be. So it's just a couple light lines, giving it some shape. And I don't need to get too detailed in that aspect, but I would recommend giving them a couple hairlines. And if you want to go in and create some value, more power to you. At the bottom with your ponytail, make sure you're getting that dark. Generally it's going to be even darker than your actual hair, depending on how light or dark your hair is, but you will be able to see it. And you want to go in and give that some value eventually here. Just doing this very lightly. I don't want the top of the head to be the emphasis, so I'm just getting a little bit of values in there. And if you wanted, you could probably be done at this point. But I'm going to go in with a blending tool and soften up some of my lines and create a little bit more values. Remember, when you're using blending stumps, it does take away some of your values. I'm going to go back in with a regular pencil and bring back some of my really dark areas. I also have this opportunity to reshape some spots, so I'm going to take that and then go back with a eraser to make some of my highlights super bright. Having that contrast really brings it to life.